Fox Weather is your Hurricane HQ. We are tracking Bertha's journey through the Gulf in the Atlantic Basin here, keeping our eyes on Fausto in the Eastern Pacific. Lots to get an update on. The 2 o'clock advisory is in, so let's dive through it with Fox Weather's hurricane specialist Brian Norcross. Brian, good to see you. The big headline here is that Bertha has made its way inland.
Yes, it's inland. It's actually been inland for a little while, I think, because we track the center, but the center is not where the weather is. This system has really essentially become completely disconnected. I think it probably would have been ended if the impacts, such as they will be, were not just imminent. There's no reason to go through naming and unnaming and all that kind of thing right now. The center is up here, right by Sabine Lake, that little lake you see right there. That's Sabine Lake and Sabine Pass just below. It's right on the border between Louisiana and Texas. So that's where the center is. But obviously the weather is down here. So let's sort this out. There's what you see, the center of rotation. It still has a rotation to it. No question about that. There's not much going on with these clouds here, just showers. There's actually a decent band back over here, over the New Orleans area. But none of this is really the important stuff. The important stuff is just about at the Texas coast, and it's related to this big cluster down here, this big thunderstorm cluster that was originally the middle of the storm, and then it just got more and more separated from the center because of strong upper level winds, essentially tilting the system over. That has essentially ripped the system apart at this point. All right, let's look close up at this now and look at the lightning. But also notice that as it's approaching the coast, the lightning is essentially stopping and the brightness of the colors, the reds and all, are dissipating. So what's happening here is that the upper level center is kind of moving inland and the whole thing is weakening. It's not like a well-organized kind of system at all. Never was really, but when it was out over the water, it had the warmth of the Gulf powering it. Now a good part of it is over land and it's over drier air and so forth. So we're kind of a remnant of what it is. Anyway, it's just moving in from Corpus down here on up to Matagorda Bay here and up to the Galveston area. It's offshore of Galveston, maybe coming closer to Freeport, Texas there along the coast. We don't expect this is going to be a big deal thing. There you can see it. Look at it. Now, this little cell right here had rotation in it, and they put up a notice that there could be a water spout in that, so it could still be producing a water spout, although the signal is less and less as this whole system weakens as it comes in here. This is Matagorda Bay here, and then this is Lavaca Bay going up to Port Lavaca. So anybody in that area, keep an eye out just to be sure you're not in a boat or something like that. Anyway, nobody should be boating today because there are some gusty winds associated with these thunderstorms, although they're dying out as they come to the shore. Let's look at the swirl up there. There you can see what the National Hurricane Center was tracking. See it right there, right? But now let's go back and kind of trace this back a bit, and you'll see it's been over land for a good while. Earlier they had it kind of offshore. I don't know. I would have put it a little bit farther north, but in any case, it's not the relevant part of the storm. But it's the feature that we track because we're interested in what's happening in terms of rotation and so forth at the surface of the earth, because in a well-developed storm, that's where the worst weather is. But this is not that. So in this case, the best weather is there, and the slightly worse weather is farther south. All right, so let's just check on the winds. You can see what's going on here. We still have breezy conditions at Lafayette, gusting up to 28, 31 at Lake Charles. Remember, this center is right near Sabine here. So you can kind of see in the winds, well, they've switched now a little bit, but now it's like this here at Sabine Pass. So that means the center is on this side, but at Galveston, it's from the north this way. So it kind of tells you there's a center in there. But if you look at the analysis here by the model, you can see the winds kind of go way up here, and then they come back down here. So there's kind of a large area of circulation, so that when this line here, kind of in the middle of that area, didn't draw that very well, comes over, the winds are going to go kind of calm, and then the stronger winds, such as they are left, are over here. But look, as we look at this, we see originally it starts with reds and yellows, and that's got the tropical storm force gusts up in here, but they just dying out as it comes near the coast. So we might get some gusts up in the 30s to maybe 40 miles an hour, but you see it's all purples and a few reds is all that's left, so mostly in the 30s, which are what we're seeing up at Lake Charles and so forth. So the backside of this elongated system is where the worst of the weather is, and it's just completely going to die out wind-wise as it moves inland. Some rain probably eventually will move over Texas, but even that doesn't look like a whole lot. Looking at this close up along the Texas coast, look at this. We have essentially no wind here because that's still that axis just before the wind right in here. And just a little while, the winds should start coming up out of the south or the southwest and pick up some at these places, but I don't think they're going to pick up that much. And except for boaters and beachgoers and things like that, there doesn't seem to be any danger here from anything. All right, here's the cone just for the heck of it. There it is, you see, located right over Sabine Lake right now. And then we go forward. So this center, remember, this is not the bad weather, but this center moves right over Houston. So this is going to be that elongated line, goes over there, so there's no wind in Houston. Then eventually, when it gets over here, so this is this evening, then when it gets over in here, then we start getting that backside in the Houston-Galveston area. Probably have some gustier winds from the south, but I mean, if you didn't know there was a tropical storm going by, I don't think you're going to know it. Look at the models trying to figure this out. Where is the center? What should we track? They've had kind of a fruitless day. A bunch of them kind of in the middle between the center up here and that other system that's moving toward Port Lavaca. And the Google model kind of didn't know what to do, kind of went backwards, forwards, whatever. Anyway, because it's very disconnected. So, what exactly do you track? Track the weather or track the low-level center is an open question. Anyway, Jane, this is just about over. It's fading as it's coming ashore, but there's still, some squally weather, and care should be taken, especially right along the coast and any exposed areas.
Absolutely.
And,
Brian,
and remember, the worst of the wind is on the backside. So just because the calm part goes by, actually that's when you're going to get whatever weather you're going to get. Like they're still getting in Louisiana. It's actually after the calm period goes on by.
Yeah, so overnight you might feel the winds pick up and you think, okay, there's Bertha, as that kind of that corridor moves through. But Brian, of course, as we've been all in on Bertha, over in the Eastern Pacific, we have Fausto, and we've been monitoring this now closely going into early next week, perhaps a brush with the Hawaiian Islands?
Well, yeah, it'll be a much weaker version of it. I mean, it will affect the trade wind. So in Hawaii, you have pretty continuous winds that come from the east, and so you have different weather on the windward side and the leeward side of the mountains and so forth. But when you get a disturbance, that Fausto will essentially be a disturbance by that time because it will have weakened over the cooler water and the dry air that it's going to be pushing into. That will disrupt the trade winds and it'll be noticeable in the Hawaiian Islands, especially if you're on the northeast facing part of one of the islands. I think you'll notice that, and you may get a little surge of increased moisture coming in too, but I don't see there's any danger here from a significant storm affecting the Hawaiian Islands.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, though. We're showing a shot out of Honolulu. It is paradise, but the Eastern Pacific is just lit up with activity. And we oftentimes see this kind of flurry of activity in the Eastern Pacific, and then maybe as things start to die down, we look closer to the Atlantic Basin to maybe see the response. Do you think that's something that we might have to look forward to into August?
Well, I don't think they're especially related this year. If we're going to get something in the Atlantic, it's probably not going to be the kind that comes off of Africa and is very far south and then moves to the Caribbean, and then we watch it, mind it turn north and all that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if we get something to develop, it'll be north of the islands, east of the Bahamas, and a lot of storms in history have developed in there, have never gone in the Caribbean. So I think that's where we're going to watch there and in the Gulf. Now, in the Eastern Pacific is spectacularly warm this year, unrelated to El Nino. And in El Nino years, the Eastern Pacific is busy anyway. So I think the Eastern Pacific activity and the Fausto situation and all that is really related to the very warm Eastern Pacific waters, and less related to any other factor that might relate it to the Atlantic. But the idea that sometimes the Eastern Pacific is busy and then the Atlantic gets busy, that's a real thing for sure. You're right, Jane. But in this case, the Eastern Pacific is so warm, the Atlantic is so cool. I think that will drive the activity more than any kind of balance in a more normal year.
Well, that charged up El Nino continues to make its presence known, and we're watching that closely in the EPAC with Fausto. And then Bertha, of what's left of it through tonight. Fox Weather Hurricane Specialist Brian Norcross. Brian, thanks for joining me. As always, love your insight.
Okay, Jane, take care.